All right, we're doing systems of equations, word problems. So we have a used bookstore who's also started selling used CDs and videos. And in the first week, the store sold a combination of 40 CDs and videos. They charged $4 for CDs and $6 for videos, and the total sales were $180. Determine the number of CDs and videos that were sold. So to start off, I'm going to just put X and Y. It doesn't matter what variables you use, but I am going to go ahead with X, and I'm choosing to use that for the CDs, and we'll call the Y the videos. Again, it doesn't really matter which one in this particular problem because it doesn't specify, so you can do whatever one you want. And what we are doing is trying to figure out a couple of things. Number one, we know how many they were sold. We also know how much money they sold. So we need to write two separate equations for each of these. One is going to be the number of them that they were sold. So there were a total of 40 of them combined that were sold. So we'll do X plus Y. We'll just do the easy one first, which equals 40. And then we'll start off with the money one. So we ended up getting $180, and we know that the cost that was charged was $4 for CDs. So we just said CDs are X. So 4 times every CD X plus the $6 every video that was sold, making $180. So these are your two systems of equations that you're going to set up, and you can go ahead and choose which one you want to do. I'm going to actually do this one. I'll do substitution method with it. When you have one for a coefficient for X or Y, in this case we have that for both, we can just rearrange. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract X on both sides, get Y by itself. So this is going to end up making this Y is equal to a negative X plus 40. So now that just rearranges just to make it like that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug that in over here to this equation here, the second equation, and I'm going to plug that in where Y is, right there. And I'm going to go ahead and rearrange this so that it's rewritten. So 4X plus 6, now we're going to take this Y and replace it with a negative X plus 40, and it's going to equal 180. Now I can go ahead and distribute. I'm going to do 6 times this, and you get 4X minus 6X, and then you have plus 240 equals 180. So now I'm going to combine like terms, which are these two. You end up with negative 2X plus 240 equals 180. And then you are going to get that X by itself. You subtract 240 on both sides. You're left with negative 2X is equal to a negative 60. And then last step, divide both sides by a negative 2, leaving me with X is equal to a positive 30. So you know what X is now. And now we're going to go ahead, plug it into either of the original equations. I think it makes more sense just to do this one. And if you have X being 30, plus something else, it's going to equal a total of 40 items sold, and obviously that would make my Y only 10. So that means that I have 30 CDs that were sold and 10 videos that were sold. And so in an answer statement, which you should write if you wanted to write just the coordinates, if it was not necessary, although I don't know why it wouldn't be, these would be the coordinates that you would write for it. But in an answer statement with a word problem, you should always write that there would be 30 CDs and 10 videos sold in this particular problem. If you want more questions like this, you can find them on my YouTube channel. You want Algebra, check them out under the System of Equations word problem section.